Everyone looks rich on Instagram. The luxury vacations, the new cars, the rooftop dinners. But here's the truth, they're not. You're not behind, you're just seeing an illusion. And even when it's real, it's not your reality. In the next few minutes, we're going to blow the lid off the illusion. I'll give you a strategy that helps you stop feeling broke and start building real wealth. Why everyone seems richer than you, and how to fix that for good. Let's be real. Social media is a highlight reel. Nobody posts their credit card debt. Nobody shares their 3 a.m. panic attack about their finances. You see their $20 sushi dinner, not the overdraft fee that followed. Here's the truth. Most people are playing a game they can't win. The median U.S. household net worth is around $193,000. But that doesn't mean people are financially free. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. People are financing their vacations. Yes, some of them look rich, but many are barely hanging on. I once worked with a couple earning over $300,000 a year. They said they felt broke. They maxed their 401, sent their kids to private school, and took multiple vacations. Still, they felt financially anxious. Why? Because feelings about money are often completely disconnected from financial reality. Here's a story. A client of mine, let's call her Anna, worked in tech and earned $220,000 per year. Her lifestyle, expensive clothes, daily delivery meals, 2 international vacations a year. But she had less than $4,000 in savings and carried a credit card balance of $25,000. She wasn't rich. She was spending fast and living faster. You might look at someone's Instagram and think, wow, they've made it. But what you're seeing is just the surface. You don't know their mortgage, their credit card balance, their student loans, their emotional relationship with money. Real wealth is quiet. It's not in your face. You rarely see it on social media, because the people who are truly wealthy aren't shouting about it, they're living it. Here's a stat for perspective. The top 10% of U.S. households hold more than 67% of the country's total wealth. That means the remaining 90% are sharing the scraps. When you feel like you're behind, it might not be a feeling. It might be a reflection of a real inequality. Coming up, I'll show you why you might be doing better than you think, and why comparison is quietly ruining your financial life. Feeling broke doesn't always mean you're broke. In fact, some of the most financially anxious people I've spoken to make 6 figures. They feel like they're drowning, not because of math, but because of mindset. Why does this happen? Because they don't have clarity. Most people don't know how much they spend. They don't know their monthly inflow or outflow. They avoid checking their bank account, not because they don't have money, but because they don't have a plan. Money stress is not always about numbers. It's about not knowing what the numbers are. Let me introduce you to James. He's a freelance web developer making $100,000 per year. He should feel great, but James feels broke. Every month is chaotic. Some months he makes $10,000, other months barely $2,000. He never plans, never saves, never sets targets. James doesn't have a financial problem. He has a system problem. Ask someone, how much money would it take for you to feel okay? Most can't answer. They say something like, more than I have now. It's not a goal, that's a trap. Imagine setting out on a cross-country road trip with no map, no destination, no gas plan. That's how most people are managing their finances. Of course you feel lost. Of course it's overwhelming, because without direction, every wrong turn feels like failure. According to a 2022 study by the National Financial Educators Council, the average adult lost $1,500 a month due to lack of basic financial knowledge. That's a vacation, or half a month's rent. All gone, just from not knowing. Next up, I'll show you why social media is rewiring your brain to hate your life, and how to fight back. Social media shows you a $5,000 vacation in 15 seconds. It doesn't show you the 15 years of savings, or the 15% interest rate on the credit card that paid for it. Some people are truly wealthy, but many are faking it, funding their lifestyles with debt, living paycheck to paycheck in designer clothes. Here's the most dangerous part. You're comparing your entire life to someone else's highlight reel, a reel that's been filtered, edited, and curated to perfection. Let me give you a real-world contrast. Emily is a nurse in Ohio, drives a 5-year-old Honda, lives in a modest condo, never posts anything flashy, but she has over $300,000 in her retirement accounts and no debt. You won't find her on your feed, but she's crushing it quietly. Now contrast that with Mike. Mike is always on Instagram. Gym selfies, Miami rooftop photos, new car every year. But behind the scenes, Mike has $70,000 in credit card debt, hasn't paid his taxes in 2 years, and lives with his parents. Who's actually ahead? We crave visibility. That's why people show off their cars more than their savings accounts. You can finance a car, you can't finance peace of mind. Ask yourself, when's the last time you saw someone post their credit score, their net worth, their budget? You haven't, and you won't. Because real wealth isn't flashy, doesn't sparkle on camera. Savings accounts don't come with filters or flashy logos. Coming up, I'll help you uncover your personal definition of rich, so you stop chasing someone else's dream. What do you actually want? Not what Instagram wants, not what your parents want, not what your coworkers have. What do you want? Most people never ask themselves this question. They default to the American dream. Big house, big car, big debt. But maybe your rich life looks different. Maybe it's picking your kids up from school every day. No, or having time to cook dinner. Or traveling once a year without checking your bank account. Here's an exercise. Write down your perfect day, from morning to night. Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? What does it cost? This is your blueprint. You're not someone else's. Consider Mark and Rachel. They're a couple in their early 30s. They realized their version of a rich life didn't include a big house. Instead, they moved into a smaller apartment, started working remotely, and now spend their summers living in different cities around the world. Lower cost, higher joy. They didn't just downsize their apartment, they downsized their stress. They traded clutter for clarity. And in doing so, they gained the freedom to design their year-round memories, not mortgages. The key is to define your rich life. Because if you don't, the world will define it for you. And chances are, the world will choose something expensive. Up next, I'll give you the exact 3-step plan to feel rich, even if your bank balance says otherwise. This isn't a budget, this is a spending philosophy. Track only for numbers, fixed costs, investments, savings, and guilt-free spending. Fixed costs include your rent, utilities, insurance, phone plan. Investments include your retirement accounts, your brokerage accounts. Savings should go toward emergency funds and short-term goals. And guilt-free spending. That's where the joy lives. Your hobbies, your passions, your little luxuries. Use money dials to focus on what brings you joy. Love food? Great, spend more on that. Don't care about clothes, cut back. Your money should reflect your values, not your insecurities. Here's a powerful example. Sarah, one of my clients, realized she was spending $300 a month on random Amazon orders and impulse buys. When we dug deeper, she admitted she actually felt guilty every time she clicked buy now. We redirected that money to weekly cooking classes and high-quality groceries. The result? She was happier, healthier, and no longer felt guilty about her spending. Your goal is alignment. Spend extravagantly on what you love, and cut mercilessly on what you don't. Sarah wasn't just spending on Amazon. She was numbing herself after long workdays. But once she shifted that money to cooking classes, something changed. Her guilt turned into joy. The way she viewed her money shifted forever. Comparison is a thief. It robs your joy. Next time you feel envy, pause. Ask yourself, do I really want what they have? Or do I want the feeling they seem to have? Your friend just bought a Tesla. Cool. Do you want a Tesla? Or do you want the feeling of success, prestige, and confidence that it represents? Be honest. Instead of comparing, start creating. Create your rich life bucket list. 10 things you want to experience in the next 10 years. Choose one. Estimate the cost. Start saving for it automatically. Let's say you want to take your family on a trip to Japan. It costs $7,000. Divide that over 3 years. That's just under $200 per month, or about $6.50 per day. That's one less takeout meal per week. Can you make that automatic? Now, you're no longer wishing. You're planning. This is how dreams become plans, and how plans become reality. Every progress matters. Saved $50 this week, that's a win. Set up auto investing, that's a win. Paid off a credit card, major win. Most people wait to celebrate when they reach the big milestone. That's a mistake. You need momentum. You need dopamine. Here's how you do it. Set a reminder once a month. Money Win Review. Sit down with yourself or your partner. Review what went well. Name one thing you're proud of. Celebrate it. Order takeout. Go on a mini date. Toast with sparkling water. Whatever feels good. Money doesn't have to feel heavy. It doesn't have to be a battle. You're building a system that rewards progress, not perfection. You're not just building wealth. You're building momentum. Most people aren't rich. They're just better at looking rich. You don't need that. You need clarity, intention, systems. Wealth isn't about income. It's about freedom. It's the freedom to say no, the freedom to walk away, the freedom to choose. Real wealth gives you options. The option to say I'm done. To a toxic job. The option to take a sabbatical. The option to move closer to family. The option to pursue your dream, even if it doesn't pay well at first. That's power. And that's peace. Let me tell you about Miguel. He made $75,000 per year as a high school teacher. Not flashy. But over 10 years he lived simply, invested 15% of his income, and built a 6-figure portfolio. He's now taking a year off to write a book. It's freedom. On the flip side, I've coached salespeople earning over $200,000 who couldn't take a month off. Why? Because their expenses were higher than their income. It's no freedom, just stress. Wealth isn't a number, it's a lifestyle. It's peace of mind. And guess what? You can have that. Even if you don't earn 6 figures, even if you have debt, even if you're starting late, you just need the right plan and a commitment to consistency. If you follow the plan in this video, you'll stop feeling like you're falling behind, because you'll realize you were never behind. You're just building your map. Before we wrap up, let's debunk some of the biggest money myths that are holding people back. This is the classic excuse. I'll start saving when I make more money. But the truth is, if you don't save when you're earning a little, you won't magically start when you're earning more. More income often leads to more spending, not more saving. Start now, even if it's $20 a month. Build the habit first, then scale. Next. Budgeting means I have to give up everything I enjoy. A good spending plan should include joy. That's why we include guilt-free spending in the conscious plan. If your plan doesn't make room for your happiness, you won't stick to it. Spend on what you love. Cut what you don't. That's the formula. Another myth. Debt is just part of life. This belief keeps millions trapped. Yes, debt is common. But it doesn't have to be permanent. There are real strategies for paying it off, like the snowball and avalanche methods. And once it's gone, your money is finally yours again. Think about what it would feel like to get your entire paycheck and not owe a cent of it to anyone. That's freedom. That's peace. Next myth. Investing is only for rich people. Investing is actually how people become rich. You don't need to be an expert. You just need time and consistency. Index funds, Roth IRAs, automated contributions. These tools are available to almost everyone. Start with $100 or $50. You don't need a Wall Street broker. You just need a smartphone and a bit of discipline. And finally, money is stressful, and it always will be. It doesn't have to be. Once you have a system, money becomes less about stress and more about freedom. Think about brushing your teeth. That used to be hard when you were a toddler. Now you do it without thinking. Money can become the same. Money doesn't have to be a daily fight. It can become a quiet ally. A background system that supports your real goals. You're not behind. You're not bad with money. You just haven't been shown the right system yet. Now you have it. And now, it's your move. You're not behind. You're building your map. If you learned something today, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment. What money myth have you been believing in? What are you going to do about it now? Let's talk about it, because you're not alone. And the next chapter of your financial story starts right now.